it felt like, how dare you get to the top of the ladder and then start wondering, this is not really what I wanted. Yes, I'm admired. Yes, I'm successful by society's standards.
You are a role model.
I sit in boardrooms. I'm a role model. My advice is sought, and people are told, try, push, work like you will be like Kananu. I travel on big planes. I go on business class. I have nice bags. But I'm feeling so empty. I was between a rock and a hard place. The money was finished. It caused me to look for alternatives. Like the offcuts became the walls for the outside and became the walls for the internal. And the chunkier trees, we got big pieces out for them. They became my kitchen islands. Some became my beds. The beds were made here. Just piece like this.
The beds were also made here.
Everything, even the sofas. My sinks are those kerais for making fish.
Yes.
Do you know how headstrong you need to be to choose what everybody else thinks is a lower level? Because that is what will give me joy and peace and calm and make my days count. Even though outside I'm looking like a failure. You left corporate because hukuwezana. Building this and chasing this life, it took me 7 years.
7 good years.
7 years of building, of trying, of failing, to finally be open and operational.
There's a certain kind of exhaustion that comes from living a life that looks good on the outside but feels empty on the inside. And after years in the corporate world, long before retirement even came into that picture, Beatrice Kananu realized she could no longer ignore that feeling. She spent years doing what many people consider the right thing, working hard, showing up, building a career, being responsible. But deep down, there was a completely different life calling her, a life closer to nature and a life that actually felt like hers. So she made a decision many people are too afraid to make. She bought land in Nanyuki, and for the next 7 years, she slowly built this beautiful hidden gem using reused, rejected and recycled materials, proving that sometimes the most beautiful things are created from what the world has already discarded. Today, she wakes up to birds chirping, a calm heart, fresh air, and honestly, walking through this space, you can tell this is more than just a home. It is a place of healing and a result of finally choosing herself. On today's episode, Beatrice opens up about the reality of motherhood, the pressure of keeping up appearances, settling for less than what your heart truly desires, and the courage it takes to completely rebuild your life on your own terms. As always, I hope this episode inspires you, and of course, I want to say thank you for the feedback you have given us on our previous episodes. Guys, I do not take that for granted. Anyways, let's listen into Beatrice's story and see what we can be able to pick from this episode. And as always, leave your thoughts on the comment section and I will be happy to engage with them. All right, let's listen in.
My name is Beatrice Kananu, Matthew. After I turned 50, I go by Kananu.
Yeah.
I prefer it. I used to go by Matthew in memory of my dad, but I am my own person now. I'm Kananu. The biggest thing, the best part of me is that I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 2 girls. It was very hard for me to get the girls, and many people look at them and look at me, and because they are young, you can see people thinking like, how are you this age and the kids are that young? Which is a bit judgmental because everybody has a different path to getting to that stage.
Yeah.
So the best part is I am a mother. I feel like I helped God create a miracle, participate in miracle doing. And the other part of me is I have been a professional for very long, working away before I came to Nanyuki. And the reason why I was away or living that life as a corporate person is because I felt I owed a big debt. And I'll explain why a debt. I was working in many corporates and traveling around the world, and I went to really good schools only because of some serious sacrifices from two people, my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
And these are those Kenyans, like many of us who are at 50, the story is quite similar. We came from parents who had little and who their own parents had even less. I think it's a common theme for us, isn't it? And so both of them give up their Form 5 opportunities. My dad gave up Makerere. My mom gave up opportunity for Limuru, just so as to educate the kids they left behind in Shags. And then for them to raise the kids they were blessed with. So there's that double burden.
Yes.
And so even the schools I went to, Kenya High, the opportunities I was given, is from somebody really sacrificing. So when I was doing my corporate career, I did it out of a huge debt and obligation. Niaje people can sacrifice so much for me, and I don't succeed. And even when it's very difficult out there in corporate, I just need to hold on and keep going and do what I need to do, because what was given up for me to be in that position.
I left home to build home.
You see? So, and then they like my dad, even my mother, but especially daddy.
Yes.
They were so poor, I think I'd mentioned it. They were so poor, the poor people in their village called them those poor people.
The poor people calling the poor poor.
And it wasn't always like that. That's the worst part, is that they weren't always the poor people. They had community land and animals and herds of animals, like as far as the eye could see. But then Mau Mau happened. And my grandfather Joshua went into the forest to fight for Kenya. And then it was found out. And so the British came to my grandmother. She was called Mbite, which is me, Beatrice. Mbite. Yeah. So they came to Mbite and told her, produce your husband. Because you have all these many children, obviously there's a husband. Where is the father? And she couldn't produce him because he's in the forest. And as punishment, she was told, you must then take all your children and take one animal and exit.
Yes.
So she wanted to take a cow so that she can feed her kids. The many mouths. But my eldest uncle, who passed away recently, Uncle Ntwarimi, told her, no, we shall carry a donkey so that it can bebana the children and whatever materials for building again that we can live with. Because we're told whatever you can carry, you go with.
Yes.
So I say this only to show that so many sacrifices were made for me to be able to be where I am. I stand on the shoulders of Jojo Mbite, of Jojo Esi, my mother, my dad. How can I then not succeed out there where they were sending me to be the one who will at least inure the rest and make the sacrifices they went through worth it?
Yes.
I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Make it count.
Yeah, make it count. That we made it, we pulled a few out, we pushed some chicken out and they became something. So even coming to Nanyuki or wanting to come to Nanyuki, and I'm sure a lot of corporate women who will hear my story will feel this, is that it felt like, how dare I want to get off the top of the ladder? How dare you get to the top of the ladder? And then start wondering, this is not all I want. This is not really what I wanted. Yes, I'm admired. Yes, I'm successful by society's standards.
You are a role model.
I sit in boardrooms. I'm a role model. My advice is sought and people are told, try, push, work like you will be like Kananu. But me, Kananu, is sitting there in the office and in the boardroom and thinking, is this all? Is that it? I sit in traffic. I travel on big planes. I go on business class. I have nice bags. But I'm feeling so empty, you know, because I'm like, basi Kisha. My kids were maybe 2, 1.5 and 2 when I'm getting to the top of the career ladder, and they're being raised by the driver and the nannies. Because by the time they wake up, Kananu is in traffic and gone. By the time I come back, if I come back, they're asleep. I'll see them on the weekend, barely. And on the weekend, I'm exhausted and I'm trying to catch up. And remember, I'm also chasing in my career so that I can get to the next promotion and the next accolade and the next, and to save money and to build up my accounts and to be an independent woman who is worth the sacrifices that were made for her. So I come from a space of crossroads, having all these opportunities, but wanting a different life, a simpler life, a holistic life, an intentional one where the things that matter to me, I'm living that life and I'm living it now, not later. I made the decision to come here or to live this life. When I had the conversations with myself, I said, what does success really look like for you, Kananu? When your days come to an end, what will you be? What will your future self be proud of that you chose to do? Or what will you regret not having done? I would have regretted not raising my children myself. There's a difference between raising them and providing all the material things they want, or raising them and being the parent who cooks for them, who hears their problems and troubles, who paints their toenails, who grows food with them and shows them how that happens. And even if I go for that life and it's hard or it struggles or it fails, what will I be proud of that I tried to do, that I went after? When I sat and did the hesabus, the corporate life was not it. At least I told myself, at least you have proved and confirmed for them that the sacrifices were worth it. I've become independent. I have my finances together. I have ticked the boxes. You went to school, graduated, did the job, succeeded at it, got married, that one failed, got children, that is happening. I ticked everybody's, society's definition of success. Now it was my turn to have success in my terms, in a way that fail or succeed, it will be me who chose it. I would be okay with it. I would be okay with it. I would look myself in the mirror and say, anyway, we still tried.
Yes.
I tried, I went after it. Yeah. And a thing that I kept asking myself, and I do it even now, is what if I had 36 months to live? And it's not that I'm going to die. Everything is well, and it's just that that is the time that I have. Would I live my days the way I'm intending to live them? Would December still be the same? Would my investment plans be the same? Would raising my children remain the same? Or would I make significant changes? Because I find I would sit there at 33, I asked myself, so we go to work, we work very hard so that we make money, then we make investments so that later those investments, we can enjoy them much later and have a slow life. So we are doing all this hard to end up with a slow, intentional, comfortable, easy life.
Wow.
A calm life later. But what if, how much is enough to get me there? And why am I assuming how much time do I have to be able to do that? And so many people get there with so much money, but hey, the stress, the cortisol, the constant stress has you've aged, you've shrunk, you can't even enjoy.
You are a shell of yourself.
Yeah, and the big house you built, you don't need all that space. The big cars that you saved for, somebody else has to drive them for you. The shamba you planned to grow and everything, the knees won't allow you to do those things because you waited for later, because you're accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. I asked myself, Kananu, how much is enough? How much is enough for the life you want to live? I want my ngokos and my eggs. Yeah. I had to Boris, my children, when we were here, we would do episiotomy to deliver the stuck sheep from or goats from the mother who is trying to give birth. Would I be able to do those things if I waited until I have a big fat bank account, until this and the other? I am also very cognizant of the fact that because of the sacrifices of mommy and daddy, I could also take some risks that maybe other people cannot take at that age or at that time, because kikiumana kabisa,
you have a home to go back to.
Not everybody does. And I'm cognizant of the fact that because I don't assume the privilege that I have of having a mother of kikiumana kabisa naeza rudi nyumbani. You know, there are many people who, they are the backup of everybody else, you know? So people might look at me and say, yeah, Kananu, it's easy for you to have given up the big fat corporate career to come and live a simpler life. Not everybody
has that.
Exactly.
Has that.
Yeah. And so I am very grateful to have that opportunity. And in as much as the opportunity of a backup plan exists, I am so kichwa ngumu that I say, even when things have failed, I'm like, have you been sent away with 9 children and a donkey? No. So even this situation, you will sit down, rest, fail, cry all your tears, and Kananu, you will get back up.
Yes.
You will. If Jojo Mbite did it, is it you?
You can too.
I can too. So there's a time I even lived in Gando on the floor, on a fridge carton. I didn't own a fridge. No. But I needed to cobble my life back together again. It wasn't long ago, 2007. And when I say, for me, coming back to the land was important for me, this kusema na kutenda. When I was making those decisions, I lived in Australia. I had a fabulous career. I had opportunities to move to our head office in Toronto. But I kept being called back. I kept asking myself, if I can be this successful in Australia, je nyumbani? And why can't I be part of making nyumbani the level that? And I was educated here, all my career, everything, educated here. But I'm giving my resources, my time, and my smartness out there. Surely Mbite and Joshua did not fight for this country for me to just abdicate. And so, and I had the opportunity, I had permanent residency. I could have gotten citizenship, but I wanted to come home. That was another big decision to make. And also another one where I felt so ungrateful, because I'd really worked to get up there and also to get the residency. But I wanted home. Home kept calling me, you know, like I owe succeeding in my land and succeeding with other people. When my days are ended, do I want to be out there or at home? And do I want to feel like I gave something back to my home and my country?
Yeah.
That is what I wanted. So I chose to come. And when I came, I didn't have a job. But I figured if I could get jobs out there, see if I can get. Nilingangana. And so that is the season where I ended up on the floor. I could have gone back home with a begging bowl, or I could have figured it out and found my feet. And when I did, I swore that I'm going to work so hard that I don't need to go back on the floor again. But in that working hard and making those sacrifices is where, at the beginning I said, I got to the top of a career ladder, only to realize my ladder was leaning on the wrong wall.
Oh, because it can be a ladder, but it's leaning on the wrong wall. That is so strong.
It wasn't my wall, it was society's wall. Kananu's wall was...
Yes.
Yeah, raising children, living on the land and off the land, giving back, because I still must give back. And giving back isn't only, it's not only in corporate that you can give back. So that is the background for how I ended up
here.
up here and why I ended up here. A hunger to live a life that seemed that was successful by my definition
and your standards.
Correct, which is surprising, because you'd think with all these global opportunities, why would you choose mornings of porridge and walking my kids to the local primary school? When you are coming, there's a government school right next to me.
Yes.
School fees was 450 Kenya shillings. As in, I give 1,000 bob na nimelipa school fees the whole term for 2 children. Na watakunywa uji na rice madondo na nitapewa change of 100 shillings.
100 bob.
Yes. But it was also because I wanted my children to see that it isn't only a moneyed lifestyle that leads to a successful or a happy childhood and future. That you can go to a school where you all sit on one bench and you learn, and there's potholes, and your ugali for lunch is cold, and you're happy. You actually have a happy, joyful childhood. And also for them to know, when you go out and you order a pizza that is 900 bob, remember 900 bob can pay school fees for 2 people for the whole term. Not that they end up living a life where you can't enjoy, but they end up not entitled and also appreciating the opportunities and the lifestyle that they have. And finally, number 3, that when they reach where they are going, they always know to look back and pull forward other people. Because they have seen it and felt it for themselves.
And they are aware.
Yes, and they enjoyed it. They did 2 years there. Yeah. And I'd always promised, when I bought this land, my children, every time people come and see my land, so my children will go to this school, and they would look at me like, please, seriously, how? When I have the opportunity for them to be in all these international schools, how are you going to this local school here?
What are you trying to prove?
Yes, but what I was trying to prove is to give my children a holistic upbringing, not a sheltered, preserved one where they haven't seen another way of living. I mean, my parents went to a school like this. Many of our parents went, and they succeeded. So there's nothing. And also, for all the years I paid taxation, even me, I wanted to enjoy free education.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a local dispensary. Me nime-enjoy tax, nime-enjoy kazi ya serikali. In some things and benefits, I have seen that. My children were educated by the government, and I am grateful for that. So that's what life I had and the why that brought me here.
Yes. I wanna come.
Ask me.
Yes, I wanna come to you being here, because again, what you have established here is absolutely amazing.
Thank
we
you.
had a whole tour of the cabins, the intentionality. My God, your interior, the skills, how you put so many things together. And I know that is something we are going to touch on. But let me take you back, because a lot of the people who are watching here, majority of them, maybe they are still in corporate, right? And I don't know if it's me, but I crave a life where people can live corporate and still be happy. So I don't know, where do we get it wrong, especially when you're in corporate, that sometimes the end results is always a bit of regret. I wish I had committed more time to this and that. When you look back, where do we go wrong? Or even for someone who is still in corporate right now, what can they do right? Because the way you've said, and I love that you're cognizant of the fact that you had a bit of privileges, or you could go back home if you needed to go back home. But I'm going back and I'm looking at someone like my mom. Okay, she was not in corporate, she was in Kikomba, and there are moments we could barely see her. But I'm looking at her like, Mom, you don't have a choice. You have 4 daughters, you need to take care of them, they need to eat, they need to feed. Like, the struggle is so real, life is so busy, that majority of these parents, even who are watching right now, they don't even have a choice. Like, what nearly happened? And is it that we can just conclude and say, okay, we just didn't have a choice?
Remember, for me, with my 2 daughters, when I mentioned them going to the government school here, did I have the choice of them going to other schools? International schools do those systems. and pay those fees. Yes. And it would mean for me to be able to afford those fees, then I would have to choose a different path.
Yeah.
So that I am working,
And
I'm investing, and I'm providing the type of lifestyle that I want for the children, or the type of schools that I want for them. Because they're going to cost X.
Yes.
So I must earn X times 10 to be able to afford that, and live in a certain location and get a mortgage for a certain house, so that even in that school they go, there are trips. Some of those schools' trip is not a national park like they used to go with a boiled egg and bananas. Theirs is international trips. I would have to be able to fund that lifestyle. So it's a choice. It's really a choice.
Yeah.
Even after they finished this primary school, I'd already started looking at Mukema Secondary School, and the school fees would have been, I think, 35,000 for the year. It comes down to choices. To choices. What life do you want for yourself and your children, and why? Absolutely nothing wrong with wanting the international schools or whichever type of lifestyle somebody wants, or to live in Karen and Kilimani, or to go for international holidays and go to the coast and Zanzibar and everything else, and therefore have to have work that funds that lifestyle. Lynn, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Absolutely. In between them going there around COVID time, my children were also homeschooled. I homeschooled them, and I also got a teacher to come and help me do the formal education, because otherwise tunge pigana na watoto because of me and that patience of hesabu and counting like this, no. But life skilling, yes. Character building, manners, building on the farm, living off the farm, seeing me build the cottages, seeing me money finishing in the middle of projects and looking for alternative ways, like my staircases, my kitchen and everything, finding alternative ways to get a solution through.
Yes.
We were home maybe 3 years or 3.5 years, homeschooling, sitting at that desk, and we learn until like 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And then we do life skilling on the that is also a choice. Is mine more right than somebody else's? Absolutely not.
But it's a choice.
It is a choice. And it is when you ask yourself, siku zangu zikiisha, which one am I okay with? Yeah? Like for me, I loved my daddy from here until forever. But he was never home. Why? Because he was escaping poverty. He was and he was doing it for us. And that is what he knew to do for us and for the other people behind him. So many of us have, I don't have, many people have others looking up to them. So how am I leaving my big corporate job to go live a simple life when there are guys at home that I need to help they educate? And I'm not speaking about myself, but to answer your question, there are people who want to have this lifestyle, but you have so many other obligations and burdens looking up to you. So that's why I'm saying your question is very difficult to answer.
But I hear what you're saying. Whether hard or easy, it's still a choice.
It is still a choice.
Still a choice.
It is still a choice.
Yeah, and maybe before we get to these beautiful cottages, another thing I'm picking from this conversation, and it's funny, we were having this conversation just the other day, we were like, how comes majority of us did not end up practicing what they studied? You know, okay, personally, I know I studied part of this, but there's also a huge part of me that was in hospitality. And do you think, especially for your generation, growing up, there was the pressure to follow a certain set of system? Because now we are looking at people who studied law, they are not doing law. People who studied medicine, they are not doing medicine. But these were really intelligent people in school, academics, people that scored. But then they look back and they are like, Miss Taki, you have found something else to do. Where did that come from? And as I asked, do you think there was that crazy pressure for people to go with a certain system that is not benefiting us, or even if it benefited us, not to the extent it was supposed to?
Absolutely. I mean, for myself, the options were medicine, law, accounting. I didn't make it into medicine. I missed law the points by 1 point.
Oh.
So the only option was accounting for my parents, for my dad. I loved design and drawing. I was always drawing little girls and outfits and homes and land and hills. But I thought that was just a pastime. It was never encouraged, because how will that earn money?
Yeah.
How will that feed yourself and your children? It's not, and we didn't have the opportunities or that people had to be a DJ. Like, what do you DJ? What do you mean? I took you to school to be a DJ. You can't. At my time, that was not an option.
What are you even saying?
What do you mean? Yeah, those are the options: is medicine field or law or, respectable careers. Not that the rest are not, but that is what it was seen as. And for myself, I also didn't become an accountant. I did the accounting. I worked as an accountant for a short while, but I then changed my career so as to, I'll agree with you, I didn't end up, my 20 years was not as a financial accountant, though I did those qualifications. But at least I had a backup plan, because they told me, you can do anything else, but first, at least do a career that will always fall back on and feed you and your children. So that is what I did. And then I ended up being an HR professional. And it's also, I think, from thinking that our traditional way of living as Africans on the land and on the soil and with community is lesser than if you went to the schools and went to the office and did the life like it's done in the West. Our way, this one is lesser. And which speaks to how I felt so much guilt stepping away when everyone is chasing that career and that job than those jobs that I got. How Kananu is everybody chasing that, and you have the audacity to walk away and come to lesser. This was always seen as lesser. Or you're only here because you failed as a corporate professional. Do you know how headstrong you need to be to choose what everybody else thinks is a lower level? Because that is what will give me joy and peace and calm and make my days count. Even though outside I'm looking like a failure. You left corporate because hukuwezana. So back to your point, it's still a choice. The people who are in corporate are not lesser, or I'm not putting them down. I'm just defining it for myself, that I'm okay being seen as a potential failure because nilirudi mashambani, nilirudi kichakani, na ninakula doma na magwashes, and we make our own porridge, and I milk goats instead of flying business class and speaking at conferences, which I'm very well capable of doing, and I still do. Even last year, I went back into corporate for a while so that I can get, because my children are almost going into university, I have built the cabins and the cottages. But it can also be, and this is a different side of it, can be very lonely when you don't have a community of like-minded people. My friends, my people around here, they know me. I go to the kiosk, I sit, we roast maize, I talk. I'm part of the community. But it also gets really lonely to have conversations like this. I'm also single, so it gets even lonelier. My kids are at school. The dream maybe also, I realized it, maybe it came full circle, maybe sooner than I expected. Though I suffered, Lynn, and I'll tell you that next. What you're seeing here is the result of blood, sweat, tears, and prayers. Answered prayers many times, but blood, sweat, tears. But then it became Ilivana. And for anybody who is going through it right now, imagine itaivana siku moja. Inaivananga. I don't want anyone to imagine that I left corporate, came here, and then everything came together. It didn't. It didn't. In fact, when I was waiting for you, I was standing there at the balcony facing Mount Kenya, and I almost cried when I saw the bush over there, where I almost fell through a pit latrine when I was building this place. And it was a Monday. Kulikuwa kumenyesha. It had rained and rained. And the soil was soaked up in rainwater. And I was using the pit latrine and I'm on black cotton soil. So when I am there, I just had kugu.
Yeah.
I almost went.
Oh,
And it's a Monday. And I had just left Safaricom maybe 5-6 months earlier. And why I kept saying Monday is because that's when boardroom meetings would be had, leadership team meetings. And here's Kananu trying to fall through a pit latrine.
That's not the way you'll go down.
How is it?
Like they are not gonna say.
I questioned my life. Just Kananu, what is this? But I really wanted to be a present parent. And present not only to my parents, but to myself. Not just chasing diaries, chasing that, accomplishing one project after the next, and the next one must exceed the last one.
Yes.
It must always, the bench keeps rising. If you can do this, you can do next. But and here I am almost falling in a pit latrine.
On a Monday.
On a Monday. And why? Because I was building, the upper floor was not finished, money had run out. I had moved in to one room, the bottom one. No other space was ready, but I was tired of paying rent and I was going to make it work somehow. So I entered to finish what is at a stage that the house can be habitable. Because as you walk around, ni kichaka tupu. And I'm so grateful for the roles that I had. I mean, I worked for some fantastic employers with really good people. I mean, some of them like BAT, I'm still part of. We are still colleagues 10, 15 years later. With people who left in the 70s and people left in the 2020s. We are still, imagine. Isn't that wonderful?
It's beautiful.
And those jobs helped me. I would work so hard, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., I'm still in the office. But I take my earnings and I rusha it in the land. I would buy, I say, Kananu, right now you can't invest in, you can't develop the land. But buy it so that when you have the time to, you can go and do it. You can develop it. Right now you can't develop it.
Yes.
So you buy it.
Oh, that's how you started.
That is how I started.
The land.
Correct.
Okay.
And some would buy 2 plots, 50 by 100 with a loan. And then I count the steps. I'm like, this big loan I'm paying is just this small, small like this.
Yes.
But then when it came time to develop the land, that is what I sold. I sold Hakaka plot that I bought those time. And I brought it here to be able to develop the land. When I chose redundancy from my employer, I took my redundancy money to finish off paying the loan for this land. So that, and again, comes to the point of making the decision to sacrifice for a season and a reason. I sacrificed to do the corporate so that one day I can exit and do the life I really wanted. But here's the thing I feel like many people miss is they wait too long to then make the decision to go live the life you really, really want. Because hapa ni kuzuri, the money is good. And when you reach and your amount is enough, you're like, maybe another 2 years, maybe another 3 years, maybe one more promotion, maybe more land, maybe just another big. I ask myself, Kananu, what is enough? What will you tosheka with? And then you can go and do that. So I took the plots and I would sell them and come and start building here. But even then, there are times, even that sale of the plot would not help me finish the things I wanted to do. And this is the thing that sent me into serious spiral of depression, is coming here, building this and chasing this life, and the house not finishing, the money finishing, the contractors doing a shoddy job or stealing from me, materials going, me underestimating. Why was that difficult? Because how could I have been so successful there in corporate and then come and fail on the ground? I really felt like such a failure, you know? Yeah, Lynn. Even the cottages that you're seeing and we're walking around, it took me 7 years.
7 good years.
7 years. Some of the people whose stories I'm watching you interview, I'm like, this guy's just started, but the land started, built too, and the thing is running. But what did I do completely wrong? How did it take me 7 years of building, of trying, of failing, to finally be open and operational? I found that to be a failure. I kicked myself and I felt like...
nah. You feel like it shouldn't have taken that long?
It shouldn't have taken that long. It should absolutely not have. But I kept trying and it kept not working. I would come, the house is ready to continue. The floor is undone, or the job has been done shoddily. We have to redo the floor. Money finishes, trees start growing in the sitting room, the bedroom, the kitchen. Miti, ginye, these bushes. And I would come and walk around and I'm like, this dream of mine has trees growing inside. What? Hey, Lynn.
What is God trying to communicate?
There's even a time I went to Meru where I used to have tea with my dad, another kibanda.
Yeah.
And I went, he was in heaven already, and I went to ask him and to explain to him that please allow me to give up. Please just allow me to give up. I have tried. I was going to now get to a scrape, akuje. They take the drill, the windows, the mabati, the grills, because the cottages all had the grills and the chuma up. They measure, weigh the chuma, and sell.
God.
I went to ask His grace to just allow me to give up, because give up was not in His vocabulary.
Oh, yeah. And you see, I think for the first time, you know, as you are talking, I'm imagining the unfinished houses we see every other part of the country, even as someone is traveling, and you wonder what happened here. The foundation is done, ni pesa iliisha, you go to another place, you find that it was almost 70% done, but no one is even living inside. You go to another place, it's just the foundation. And I love that you've shared this part, because people need to understand even the journey to slow, intentional, and conscious living has its own complications. You think you will achieve this dream in a year. It ends up taking you 7 years. And I feel like what people don't talk about is the struggle and the depression that comes with it, because this is it. This is what you wanted. This is what makes you whole. And then you realize what makes you whole is not even whole in itself. Now, what do you do, man? What do you do? It's so... Man, congratulations for even picking yourself up and saying, let me not give up. Because even had you given up, we wouldn't even be having this beautiful conversation. Our audience wouldn't get to experience these beautiful cottages and cabins. And I love, honestly, that you shared that part, the struggle. But how did you come off it, though? How did you come out of that particular period?
There was also a blessing in the struggle, in the money finishing and in me failing, because it made me look for alternative ways of accomplishing the end goal.
Oh, wow.
And what do I mean? You'll see the staircases. They are reject wood. They are, you go to timber yards, the wood that they can't make into nice, smooth 8-1, 6-1, 6-2 with knots and spoils, that one. You get at almost free. At that time, before it became so common and so popular, you'd literally just provide transport. My kitchen is 3 of those pieces. Remember, this is now from 2017.
Yeah.
Next year is 2027. That's 10 years. Look, that's a piece of wood we couldn't use anywhere. That's what's holding my island. My chairs were made on the roadside. My kitchen, when I explained to people how little money I spent on, they won't believe me, because it's all reject and repurposed material. My dining table outside is just a piece of wood, a plank, you varnish it, and then chuma to hold it up. But this didn't start when the money only finished. It started also in 2010. In 2010, I had some money I had saved up from my job, cobbling together. I couldn't afford to buy land. The money was not enough to buy land. But the money was in the account. And I said, if I don't put this towards the dream, it will find find roots.
Its way out.
And people might have needs. And it's very difficult for someone to ask you for help and you refuse, knowing you have some money in the account.
Yes.
So I went to Spring Valley, where they have those homes, materials from old homes that are brought down to build up blocks of flats. It's in, do you know it, Kabete, that road?
Yeah.
And I filled an FH 10-wheeler lorry with windows, with doors, with grills, with material. I filled the thing up, and they have got kutu, but they are those chuma, old chuma, very strong. It's a ready window, a ready door.
Yeah.
It just needs a house.
Yes.
And they even had cobwebs and some kutu.
Yeah.
And I look like a mad person because I have doors, windows, grills, floors, everything, but I have no land. I had bought all the materials to build.
By the way,
I had no land.
what? So you went and placed them where? You stored them where?
My brother gave me a kakona in his beautiful shamba at the corner, and he did it in a mabati and built a mabati store for it. And I thank him. Thanks, Kome. I'm mentioning this because there's somebody who has a big, hairy, audacious dream, but you don't have the funding to do it. You don't have the resources. You don't know where to start from.
Yeah.
Can you start with where you are, with what you have? Kadogo. Me, I didn't have the money to buy the land, but I had some money. What could I buy? Old doors and windows that I could see have major potential and I will use in the future. Because if I'm going to build those cottages that are in my dream, because I want to live on the land and off the land. I want the land to feed me and my children. And I want it to feed me and my children without stress. Because it can happen.
Yes.
You can actually have a comfortable life without stress. It's not equating a high, good life is equivalent to must be stressed. No. But I don't have the full resources to accomplish the dream. But what do I have?
What's in your hand?
What is that in your hand?
What are you holding, Moses?
So I went with what was in my hand and I bought old doors, windows, grills. And I felt so good. Do you know? I bought them in 2010. Do you know when those doors found a wall to enter into? 2020. The ones for the cottages. The ones for this house, 2018.
Wow.
I bought them in 2010. Nikihama, tunahama na vitu zangu. My grills, FH lazima ikue ya kubeba. All my doors and grills, I look like a mwenda person. And the other thing I did is I didn't tell many people about it.
Okay.
Because I also saw the serious disapproval, shock and disapproval on my mother's face and my brother's face when this FH landed to now start removing to load them into the store. Ziko na kutu, they have cobwebs, they are old, some are broken windows. Not everybody can see the thing you want to do. It looked like waste, like you spent good money and put it into bad things. And if you share with people, too many people, they will derail you, you will falter, you will see their disapproval, and you will question yourself.
Yes.
Which I did, but I still held on to it. When you see some of the bedrooms, the windows that are rounded and everything, they are from that FH. The cottages, when you walk around, they are from, and I put them in, and I started all the cabins together because I said, Kananu, if it was so hard to do this one, if I start one cabin and it's difficult, I will not start another one. So nilizianza zote, which will mean I have to finish it. Because I must finish what I started by fire, by force. So I started. But at the time when there is no clarity, I did one step. Like they say, there's this Luo word that I love. I love Jago. It sounds so sweet. It says, chaka chaka.
Chaka chaka.
Which means just start. Just start. Clarity will find you when you put one leg forward. Amberia, Kimiru.
Aberia, Anza, just start.
Start. But also be very clear on what is your why. Why are you doing this? Because failure will come. Without a doubt, it will come. But when it comes, if you're clear about why, you will fail and you will get back up again. Because you know why? Why?
What's your why?
Why? What's your why? When you're clear about your why, not other people's and society's definition of why for you.
Yours.
Your own why. It will keep you going and it will carry you through storms that will sink any other person apart from you, because you're clear on what your why is.
And for you, your why, this is the life you've always did. This is
Correct.
what now makes you happy.
Correct. And it's what God spoke to me. I heard him. I heard him several times. Even when I was coming to buy the land, I was looking for 3 acres. This is 21. Because when I kept hearing, I even had to remove my shoes and step on the soil to hear clearly. Because I was hearing this is the land. But I'm like, we were coming for 3 acres. And in fact, the account is empty. What? 20? What?
21 acres.
It's 21.
Oh, let me ask.
Yes.
Why Nanyuki for you? Why this particular place? Was this it for you? Is this what you wanted?
The mountain.
Yeah.
It sounds strange. When I was really stressed in my meetings, I remember one Thursday at Safaricom, we're in a leadership meeting, and I said, if this meeting ends by 4:30, Mimi, I'm going to Nanyuki. Because Fridays we were working remotely. Tulikuwa mbele, and a fabulous HR director, Maria.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I said, but I was really stressed. I needed to make some major decisions. And every time I would come, there's a point between Arumoro and Nanyuki. The mountain is on this side. Clarity. I would be so clear. The answers my mind would open up, and I would know you're going to do this, you're going to handle it this way, and if that plan A and B fails, this is what you're going to do. I would get my spirit would calm down and my mind would open up and I would have clarity.
Yeah.
I would feel like I am home. Had I built anything? No. I had bought the land, I was paying off the loan. To answer your question, why not Meru? My dad had bought land, Mami had bought land. I could have gone and said, cut for me small. But my heart was here. Again, what's your why? Where is your why? Where is your, when your days come to an end on this wonderful, preciously short life that we have been gifted? Where will you say, I did it justice and I chased me? So for me, that gave me, I knew I come here to Nanyuki and I feel I breathe slower, I breathe calmer, I have clarity. It doesn't mean it is easy. It does mean that I found the soil and the land where I am well to be buried in and to end my days. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you have. You have. And I love that you've also spoken to it, because some people would have the assumption that you can only build where you come from, but
or where you've inherited.
Or where you've inherited. But we need to understand that we as Africans, these whole boundaries and divisions, they were created for a reason. They were created for a reason, and the people who created them benefit from the division. And I just love that people can be able to go and build a life in a place that connects with them. And I hope we can be able to see the big picture of us being a community, rather than, I love the tribe aspect of us. If anything, I think we should celebrate coming from different communities, but I think that is supposed to bring us together, not separate us or not divide us. So another thing I realize is you are very artistic. Even just looking at that beautiful image right there, man, everything in this place is so artistic, from the cooking pots to the sufurias. The last time we spent a whole night here, we were just having fun. Perks of having this conversation is that I get to enjoy staying in these places. Me and my team, we were here, we were just enjoying, the art, the beautiful items that you bump into each and every corner. Could you walk us through that? Where does that inspiration come from? And also, where do you source these beautiful pieces?
First, thank you for the compliments and thank you for agreeing to stay in the cottage.
Yeah.
Last time, I mentioned a lot of my things are also secondhand.
Yeah.
a lot of the dishes, the cast iron. We have a soko here in Nanyuki. I would go to Toi, I would go to Gikomba, but mostly here in Nanyuki. I get, before I could afford to buy Le Creuset originals,
Yes.
I got them in the market. And we have a very big, thriving market here. Even my clothes, I get most of them secondhand or reused. I build with reused. The inspiration, I think I try and keep it I try and build spaces that I would enjoy living in and that speak to the simplicity of the land and the lifestyle. I didn't want to build cottages or retreat spaces where you're coming from London or Nairobi or Kisumu and you're coming to a cottage that's almost exactly like the home that you have left. I wanted a space that breathes materials that are natural as I possibly could get. But remember, I also said there was a blessing in not having enough. It caused me to look for alternatives. Like the A-frame, you'll see, money for putting up the gypsum, finished. So I used offcuts. The homes are built around and the walls are offcuts. The whole house, I would go to Lake Olbolosat and those areas in Nyandarua and to forests, sustainable forests, but forests that are grown, farmed forests that they grow the blue gums specifically for commercial purposes. They're not indigenous trees. And I say that because, as you can see, me, I love trees.
You've protected them.
Near trees, like this rainy season, I've planted 200.
Yes.
They die. I try again. I build. I keep planting. So I would go to these forests, and I'm explaining this to answer your question. I would go to the forests, the farmed forests. I buy giant trees, long 80. When it's cut in half, long 40, it needs 12 men to carry it. You pay for it. You choose the tree. You pay for the power saw. They cut it down, and the whole tree will do many things for me. The trunks will form the pillars for my homes, for the cottages. The top part, I'll bring a tinga. And the tinga, we will remove, they'll charge you like 7 bob, 8 bob per foot to make for you 6'1", 6'2", 8'1", whatever floor material you need, either for doing your trusses or doing your floors. The smaller bits of it, we will use, the chunkier bottoms will suspend my floors because I'm on black cotton and I went through so much with this house. There's so many cracks, and even as people admire it, I like to show guys that there's many challenges even with this house. Yes, many mistakes that were made. I don't want you to just see the house and admire it and say, wow, only. I say, wow, I'll say thank you. But please know, there are many mistakes that were made by the contractors and even myself in building it that caused a lot of cracks. There's a time I had to move to Kirarapon in Nairobi only because I was escaping here because the house started to sink on one side. Then the contractor stole all the chuma. And the builders colluded with my internal staff. So everybody colluded. And Kananu did not know. I was cleaned out. I was so discouraged. I went to a 2-bedroom Mabati house to go and think again. 2023, I think. Put all my children's clothes in a gunia, and we went and started so that I can, let no one imagine that going to the land and the soil or living intentionally or this lifestyle means it is easy or simple or is a cop-out to doing a more difficult alternative. It's not necessarily so, but it most certainly is worth it. And I say this only that when you do fail, please don't give up. Go stop, rest if you must. Rest. Re-strategize, but just come back. I have many stories of failing. Many stories of failing, and one day I will reshare them. But I only interject them here so that people don't just admire and not see
the challenges.
I don't just the admiration and the accolades, and I'm giving a false picture, a social media perfection picture. It has not been like that. And I'm happy to hold the hand of somebody else who is struggling and trying to go through. Come talk to me, call me, let me tell you what I went through. If in any way it might help you, hold on a little bit longer, to see your dream come to pass. So to wrap up on your question is that I used those trees to the maximum. Even the bark of the tree, the offcut, when you've removed the wood floors, when you've used the ikingis, both to build the bottom of the house, to put the house on top, to be the pillars for the corners, the offcuts became the walls for the outside and became the walls for the internal, with a paper in the middle to keep out the cold.
Yeah.
Can you see how I used a complete tree in everything? Yes. And the chunkier trees, we got big pieces out for them. They became my kitchen islands. You will see them. Some became my beds. The beds were made here. Just piece like this.
The beds
and then
were also made here.
Everything, even the sofas. With those trees, not this one.
Oh, okay.
Me looking for those from, I think, Roysambu.
Yes.
I mean from the cottages. But can you even see my dining table?
Yes. That was made here.
Yes, my sofas in those cottages are made here. The planks of wood, you will see them. My sinks are those kerais for making fish.
Yes.
You know, I simplified it, but also because I was between a rock and a hard place. The money was finished. My investment is all here. I've sold my plots. I've used when my pension came through for BAT, I put it all in here. I put everything. How can I not finish? I gave it everything. My heart, my spirit, my mind, my finances, my dreams, my prayers, my children. I gave it everything.
Now, how do you deal with fundis? Because that's a conversation people are always like, what?
It forced me to become a fundi.
You've become a fundi.
I am Kananu, the contractor. Now you tell me and I will ask you questions because I will know. It has forced me to learn. And this is why I am hesitant to encourage people to build from afar, because imagine what I went through, all those challenges, and yet I was building while on the ground.
Now you've been here and you just waking up to this very fresh air. Nasikia birds. This is the life. Ndomas, hibiscus tea. How mentally, how has your life changed?
There's different types of stress,
yes,
isn't there?
Yeah.
I believe. There's a stress, one stress that feels like you're trapped and in a prison. And that is the one that I went through and I had when I was working. When I was traveling, I was successful and traveling and accomplished, but I was also very stressed. It just didn't seem to be enough, you know. I didn't feel like I was getting there quick enough. I didn't feel like I was doing enough. And then also the competition was very stiff. And then there's the politics of corporate.
Ooh.
The backstabbing, the bending over backwards to be able to meet expectations and to align and to be in the correct camp. And then also not being present to my children and the guilt. So that was a stress in and of itself. And from what I have explained to you on how difficult it was for me to set this up, that was another stress. That was also stressful, but very completely different types of challenges and stresses. One is almost chakujitakia. I came here and I'm chasing a dream. And I feel like every day I'm getting closer to it. Even though you fail, I fail. When I start and restart, I'm not starting from zero. There's something that I did before I stopped to go rest and recalibrate.
Yes.
When I come back, I'm not starting from zero. I'm starting from knowledge and experience of the mistakes I made, and also from some cabins which are started, from a house that exists, from chicken, my hives are full. My crops are growing. And I have a team that I have built. So I'm not starting from zero. The second thing is mentally a sense of I did myself right. I did my children right. I did my God right by choosing something that I heard him say to me and that I also wanted. So it makes almost the stress worth it. It adds up. I don't know how to say it right, But in as much as it hasn't been easy, it has been worthwhile. It hasn't been easy, but it has been worthwhile. And I don't regret making this decision. I don't.
It's beautiful. How does it feel knowing you didn't give up?
Oh. Hey. And considering how many times I almost did. Especially also remember the part being a single mom. Like, why couldn't I have held on at a different side so that I'm not raising the girls alone? Couldn't I have risen more up in the career ladder so that I have significantly more money and more property and everything else? Weighing this life with that one, and then knowing which one honors me and my children more, makes me feel proud of making decisions like the ones that I did. Makes me not only proud but grateful.
Yes.
And keeps me humble. The choices that I made, the failures that I went through, keep me grounded, keep me grateful, keep me humble, and I think keep me going even when things get tough.
Do you miss doing this with a life partner?
Oh,
Are
yes.
you open to
Yes.
love? Are you dating?
I'm not dating, and I didn't date for a long time because I had daughters.
Yes.
And also because I was figuring all this out. Imagine the whole story I've told you.
Yes.
Now where was space for
you.
And then there's also many men, guys' friends have told me, like, if you can build yourself a house like this. You get where I'm going?
I know.
Where's the space for the man? I'm like, so was I not to do? Was I not to chase the dream? Was I not to try and do at the best level that I can for myself? Because a man will come and feel challenged or feel like you don't need him. But I don't need the man to... He's not just an ATM. He's not money. His company, his strength, his companionship, his leadership, his protection and priesthood. I am Meru, and for us, our men are kings. We are taught to...
yes.
You know, and it doesn't mean that I am lesser because I treat my man as a king. It doesn't. That is, you know, and I want that. I do want that. But
you want a king.
Yes, I do. And I was raising girls and I was like, I bring boyfriend, then I start calling uncle. So I said, let me first separate. Now they are grown. Yes. Now there's time for Kananu for God to send somebody.
A king. Hi,
send
king.
me a king. Yeah, that I can make porridge for. You know, and we can talk. He can sit there, read the newspaper, and have
as
a
you
good
massage
papa.
his feet.
Yeah, and then I cut his toenails.
Auntie cut his toenails
and scrub his feet. And go and harvest something or slaughter a chicken for him. Hey, man.
These parts make me happy.
Yes. Yes.
And you guys have dinner out here.
Yes. He lights the fire. Yeah. Roasts me something.
Yes.
Yeah. But to answer your question, yes. For companionship, it would be wonderful. Maybe he'll have his own shamba somewhere, so he'll be visiting.
Yes.
Does he have to live here all the time, permanently?
Depends on how you guys are feeling.
Yeah.
And what you guys
how
agree.
You structure it.
How you structure it. Love is beautiful.
It is absolutely.
It is beautiful.
Yes. And I'm very open to it.
So what kind of king are you looking for?
A black one.
Oh, God damn it. A black king?
A black one. Bring a man of the soil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being a man of the soil they've had. Yes.
But a man who is comfortable, who knows who he is and whose he is.
Who he is and whose he is.
Yeah.
I love that. A king is watching this. We never know.
We never know.
You know, but our audience, obviously, I know they've enjoyed this conversation. And I'm not saying this to hype you or whatever, but you have one of the best cottages, or some of the best cottages
Thank you.
I have honestly ever seen. And I think it's the intentionality and knowing that you saw value in pieces that people might not see value in. When you are talking about the rejects, when you are talking about the reusing some of these materials and them turning out to be this beautiful, I can already see the intentionality. But I also noticed there are no TVs. It's like just come chill, leave the world outside and come chill. What is it that you try to sell to your clients? If someone is watching, why would they want to come and visit this place, and what do you promise they will find in this place?
The biggest one for me
Yeah.
is healing. When I came here, even when I was buying the land and when I was building, there's such a sense of calm and peace and healing in this soil. It's actually, area is called Umande, and the land is called Desert Dew here. What I named it, it's from a name my father gave me, and it means how hard it is to find dew in the desert. It's almost impossible. It was how almost impossible it was for me to succeed in this, or even for him to make it the way he made it. And even mommy, it was impossible for them to succeed, almost. But then only for me to find out the title, the area is actually called Umande, and Umande means dew. And there's such healing on this land. I have so many guests who've come and tell me not only do they have vivid, very clear dreams when they sleep here, but they don't want to leave.
Yes.
And we walk on the ground barefoot. We sit in silence. You hear chicken, you hear birds, or you hear deafening silence. It is so quiet. You can hear the dreams in your heart. And you can hear yourself coming back to yourself.
Yes.
This is what I commit to deliver.
Healing.
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 Healing. And a space to pray, to think, to be, to connect with the people you come with. That's why there are no TVs. Can you have conversations by the fire? Quarrel and make up. We don't have microwaves. I have heavy cast iron pots. Can you make tea slowly and then enjoy it? Can you slow down? And even if you have to go back to your first life, you got an opportunity to slow down and dream again and remember what your dreams are and to refuel you to keep chasing them.
Yes.
Or if you're going through a hard time, to give you strength to hold on a little bit longer, to hold on one more day, to try again.
And again.
And again and
And
again.
again. And again. How are the rates?
From around 9,000 for the studio. I have a
Beautiful studio.
Even me, myself, I check into that studio
Yes.
when I want to just, and I go, I write, I think, I make tea, I boil eggs. Even me, I come out refreshed. I sit, I light a fire in the evening. Also so that I can feel, how will it feel like for
the
people when you
guests.
come? You shower, my windows are from the roof to the ground.
Yeah.
So you open and you're like showering outside, it's bringing inside. And the cold is not baridi, it is. So from 9,000, 15,000 for 2-bedroom, 21, 23 for the 3-bedroom. So I have different sizes. Families can come, individuals can come. We go silent from around 9:30. It goes quiet till about 9:11 the next day, so that you can just
enjoy.
Yeah. This one is also available because I built a lovely 2-bedroom cabin for myself because I finished raising the children here, and I feel like this one is a lot for me on my own.
And it's truly beautiful.
Thank you. So this one's also available for long let or short let. And I would be so grateful if people came
They will come.
And encouraged me by staying, because it took a lot of guts and madness, prayers and tears to build this. I would be so encouraged that people come and stay.
Where can they book? Because I really want them to come.
Oh.
Any contact details? How can they connect with you? How can they ask more questions? Feel free. Thank you. Just feel free to give all the details.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd started a YouTube channel that I'm going to dedicate to. It's called Facing Mount Kenya.
Thank you.
Facing Mount Kenya. And in that one, my intention is to show the behind the scenes, not just the flowery, beautiful home, but what it took to get here. And also the cabins that I'm adding, because God told me I am to add. I felt a voice tell me, and I was discussing with God and asking him, I'm adding even these ones I have not yet finished and I'm to add, but there are not many more that I'm adding. But also because then I want to finish in 3 months and then I stop and enjoy. So Facing Mount Kenya on YouTube, and on all the socials, it's The Cabins Nanyuki.
The Cabins
on TikTok,
Nanyuki.
on IG. I think IG is The Cabins.Nanyuki, but The Cabins Nanyuki, and they will find me. My phone number is also there, and maybe you can put it on the video here.
It's
You'll put it
on the screen.
Thank you.
It's already on the screen.
Karibuni, come.
Kujeni, come. I think they will find. Okay, I don't know if you do this for everybody, but guys, as we were welcomed with mayai ya kuku kienyeji, and she was like,
we give chicken, we give eggs to the houses.
You give the eggs.
Absolutely. When there's a time I had maybe 120 of them.
Yeah.
So yes, you get eggs in the morning.
You get like eggs in the morning, za kienyeji, which is really good. But also, are you like 100% off grid in terms of water, solar? How is that like for you? And your showers are also really good, by the way. So let me every time I go to a place, number one, shower. Number one, your shower inatoa maji aje. Like, I don't know, people look for different things in different places. For me, it's shower. So I really did enjoy that. I was just putting it out there. But are you off in terms of water and power?
We are not yet. And thank you for saying that about the showers, because we kept changing them, because I also wanted it to feel nice. Shower and a mattress. You must sleep well, shower well, and then cook well. I have a solar electric fence around the property. My borehole is presently electrical. The plan is I'm going in phases. So my showers are solar panels on all the roofs, and the cabins share. So my water for showering is solar. My fencing is solar. Majority of my street lighting is solar. A lot of the bushes you should see at night. I'll send you a video. At night, the trees are lit up.
We saw it.
And then, so the intention is also just to get batteries and etc. So that also all the street lighting, it's 50% solar now, moving to fully solar. The one portion I need a significant investment in, and if there's somebody who wants to come and bless me with a few million shillings, they're welcome to. Is to solarize the internal of the houses. So even the fridges I buy, I make sure they're those small ones. The energy use is, they're very efficient, so that when I convert to solar, it doesn't drain the batteries. We cook outside. I have grills for guests to roast meat and make pizzas. It's off-grid ovens. My ovens are also off-grid. The ones that I got are very minimal use. Power. So everything I have been doing has been towards the goal of being eventually 100% off-grid. Remember when I told you, I really don't believe that having a good life must mean an expensive, stressful life. It doesn't necessarily. It does not mean it has to equate to that. But you can also build up to it strategically. So the decisions I make now are towards an end game where I don't have electricity bills, I don't have water bills. And that the land feeds me and my guests. That you can get out and get some domas, greens, spices, chilies, and cook for yourself to your heart's content. I'll have fish in the dams. I have hives for honey. The land should feel that you live on it and you live off it. And others too. And that I can trade and barter, trade and exchange.
Beautiful. Thank you, man. Another moment where I don't feel like living, but of course, I have to, but I have really had a very beautiful conversation. Even coming back here for the second time, now for the sit-down conversation, and just you also encouraging our audience and sharing your raw truth, because we have to acknowledge, even if we are winning, people now are seeing the wins, but there have been a lot of challenges. So thank you for being raw about it, honest about it, and also encouraging our audience with your story, your conversation. Through this conversation, even me personally, I keep learning a lot from you, you know. And once again, just to affirm, you are really gifted. And if you've never thought about interior, maybe you should now start thinking about it.
Thank you.
You know, this could be a cool place for people to come and buy a few pieces here. And I look at this place and I'm like, wow, siniende na ile, siniende na ile, siniende na ile, siniende na ile, you know. You are a collector of very beautiful pieces, but allow us to go for now. This is not our last time seeing each other. I know we are going to bump into each other. You are like 20 or 30 minutes away from me. So,
I'm so happy.
I love that now there's a community. I'll be like, bwendeni kwa Auntie Kananu.
Amen.
You please honor the community part.
Yes.
My toys will be like right here.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then kwa auntie yenyu mkae huko kidogo, you know. But it's been an honor just having this conversation. Baby, before we wind up, is there anything you feel like, Lynn, I really needed to share this, but I haven't? Here is an opportunity. And if there isn't, then maybe you could give a parting shot to our audience, whichever.
I'm just very grateful that I had the opportunity to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I used to watch you having the conversations with different people and wonder, how does it feel like to speak with Lynn?
Oh, yeah.
I really, honestly, so thank you very much for coming to my home.
Yes.
And then also, I am very grateful that I got here, you know, that I got here eventually. I'm so very grateful and also very grateful to God for holding me through it and not letting me go. And for anybody who is watching and you're feeling like either you bit off too much to chew or you tried too hard and it's not going through, it's not coming together, listen to my story and see where I'm sitting. You know, that even if it takes years, mine took me 7 years of failing, of being laughed at, of losing almost everything, of giving up. And then I'm sitting here in my house with, in the evening I will light a fire. The dream has come full circle. Please don't give up. Rest, stop, get off if you must. Listen to my story and don't give up. Please don't give up.
Yes. We said it's chaka-chaka.
Chaka-chaka.
Chaka-chaka. Chaka-chaka.
Start and then don't give up.
And then don't give up. Appreciate you. Thank you. And to you guys at home, I know you've honestly had a fulfilling moment just watching this. And I hope Kananu's story has honestly inspired you. For me, I said my goal with this conversation is to be able to sit with people like her so that they can be able to share with us their story. And as she said, I hope her story can be a source of inspiration to you, wherever you are. Even if it gets hard, don't give up. Sawa sawa. No matter how hard it gets, don't give up. Please go on the comment section. Tell me what your take home has been from today's conversation. And I always say, for me, I'm going to visit a place first before I even hype it, because I don't want you guys to go to a place and be disappointed. But if you are looking for a place to just go chill, heal, and just enjoy, check these cottages out. You've been seeing them on the screen, and Kananu is such an amazing host. So if you're looking into a place where you can just go and heal, why don't you check out Cabins Nanyuki? She has a lot of them. But Simumeskia story, it's not been easy, but I love what she has said. She's grateful that she got here. So check this place out. Their social handles have been on the screen. Her contact details are on the screen. Just call her. If you have any questions, just call her. And even if you are watching and you have a similar story and you are like, Lynn, I think I can also inspire your audience. You know where to find me. info@lnn.digital or lynn.ngugi@lnn.digital. It's been real. Mimi huyo nimeenda Rimuruti, but I'm gonna see you guys on our next episode. Thank you to my team for always doing an incredible job. Equipment zetu zimeoshwa, nakwambia leo zinakaa smart sana. God is good. God is good. Thank you, Muga. So we appreciate the team, and I hope, guys, we can continue learning and relearning. I know there are a lot of things happening in the country that some of you think we should come and react to, but not yet, guys, not yet. This year we will be intentional about our slow living content, and then possibly next year we will have those thought-provoking conversations that we must continue to have, because I love our country, but I must remind each and every one of you that this is the only country we have. I will leave it at that. Okay, bye bye.